you want to hear yourself? Hang on. You want to hear yourself? Oh, my.
How does this look? Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. We are here in Honolulu, Hawaii, with Raymond from Kona Coffee Purveyors, and we are going to talk about the Giesen W15 that has been installed here. This Giesen features some optional upgrades that can give the user some benefits, and the upgrades specifically are on this side of the machine. And these upgrades are, first of all, a manual gas valve, so that the user can have the option either to use the automatic roast profiling that's embedded here with the touch screen in this panel, or the user can bypass that and use the machine completely in manual. And in order to make the operation in manual extra functional, there are two magnehelix. One magnehelix, the upper one, displays the gas pressure to the gas manifold, so that every movement you make here manually will be displayed on this dial. And on top of that, we have a magnehelix to show the under pressure in the roaster. As with most drum roasters, a certain under pressure is helpful for transferring heat, specifically convection heat. And here we actually see a reading of that under pressure in inches of water column pressure. And why is that helpful? Because that helps us to also understand how the beans can be roasted consistently, because this pressure is not always going to be the same. It will change with the batch capacity. It can change also with the atmospheric ambient pressure. And so other features are kind of standard on this machine versus other Giesen machines. In this case, there's also behind the machine is an afterburner. This is an orthodox style of turbo afterburner that takes the exhaust gases from the roaster and incinerates them here in this chamber. And the cooling exhaust gases are integrated through a Y just above the afterburner. So in this setup, there will be still some noticeable aromas, but it will be fairly limited. And then there's very helpful. There's a damper that will help us to set the actual pressure, operating pressure in the roaster. So with that damper, I can regulate this pressure inside the roaster. Now my experience is that a higher vacuum, which means that this dial will go up, that a higher vacuum can accentuate the acidity of the coffee, specifically the citric and the malic acids, so those more upfront acids can be more exposed. Not all coffees need that. For some coffees you might want to bring those acids down to some degree, but with I would say in general it's very helpful to be able to not only manipulate that but also to measure what's going on. And then just some general features of this system is that there's a cast iron faceplate. Cast iron is kind of a porous material, so it absorbs and releases heat fairly rapidly. And we have a burner that is a higher grade ribbon burner, as you'll find them in high quality appliances nowadays. And that ribbon burner allows us to direct and control very precisely the heat that we bring to the coffee. And now the other features are fairly standard and consistent with what we see with other Giesen machines. And I want to introduce Raymond, and to kind of maybe get Raymond's perspective, what his vision is using a roaster like this for his coffees, so what it can do for his coffees. Maybe you can share some words with us about that.
Well, I think for us, even though we have the automatic controls here, we do all of our roasts manually, so that we can really stay in touch with everything that's going on with the coffee ourselves. That's why Willem worked with us to get these controls installed, especially the gas control here. The nice thing about the Giesen is we still can control the fan motor speed. So if we want to bring up the airflow in the coffee, we can do that as well. And then we also, very important to install the damper in the back, so that we can adjust the drum pressure. So we're just going to get together today and go over some different profiles to really try and tweak the result of pure Kona coffee, so that we can get the flavor really exactly where we want it. So that's why Willem came over to work with us, and we'll be working on different profiles today. So thank you for coming.
Thank you.